Rio Hondo Prep football is one of the best kept secrets in all of Southern California. As one of the smallest enrollments year in and year out, the Cares have won 16 CIF championships and have been one of the most successful programs throughout their history. Welcome to A Charge to Keep, the official podcast of Rio Hondo Prep football. And now, bringing you the latest news and content from his alma mater, a CIF champion in 2001 from the class of 2003, here's your host, Matt Hersema.
What is up, Rio Hondo Prep football fans? Welcome to another episode of A Charge to Keep, the official podcast of Rio Hondo Prep football. I know you guys have been excited to get more episodes out after, our first episode there to kick the summer off. And I promise you guys some outstanding guests this summer to get us ready for the kickoff there in week 0 on August 22nd. We've had, Coach Carson on early in the season. And I told you we do a few different things this year, a little different, but also a little bit more of the same, right? As you guys could kind of see the structure that is the Charge to Keep podcast. Of course, during the season, talking to players and Coach Carson, alumni during the week or in the pregame show. Well, in the summers, I like to have longer conversations with the alumni, people special to the program. We've heard, obviously from Coach McMains from MLK earlier in the year. We got some other stuff on the docket. I could say that are going to be rather entertaining. At least it is on my end. And if all the plays, the total plays and shares are accurate, then it looks like you guys are as well. So by the time this airs, we'll be in about mid-June, and the boys, I think, maybe not have left on the summer trip yet, but everything will be done. They'll be out of school. Let's see, maybe, they might be on the Europe trip already. Again, I record these kind of either in June or the end of May. So just to let you guys know, work's picking up, the heat's picking up a little bit for sure. So today ran through it, if you know what I mean. And here I am recording an episode tonight. So fired up, ready to go. Thought about it all day because I was really excited about our guest today. We are going to have on the program Mr. Jeff Fairley, or should I say Dr. Jeff Fairley. He is basically one of the medical personnel for Rio Hondo Prep football. He's been in that position for quite some time. Assistant Dr. Dr. Walsh, working with Dr. Steris, Dr. Collins. And I think what Dr. Fairley, really his emphasis for the program is kind of what he does on the daily basis in his rehab facility, where he works through therapy, I should say, physical therapy of injuries and things. So we'll let him give you the official verbiage on all those things. And obviously a little advertisement for him as well, if you're having an injury or, could use some direction in that way. But Dr. Fairley, once upon a time, a proud RHP graduate, a great football player, great athlete all around. Played on that 1990 football championship team, was on the 1991 basketball runner-up team that also fell short in the state regionals. Legendary team, and you've heard from some of those guys already, Todd Carson, Rick Johnson, just to name a few. Pete Clark was on that team. Mike Whiteside came on the show last year. A lot of fun talking to him. So we're going to hear from Dr. Fairley today to talk a little bit about his Rio experience, maybe why he continues to contribute to the program and be a part of it. When a documentary got started a few years ago, about a decade now, really, by Robert Morales, the trailer that was played had Jeff Fairley kind of as the intro voice, and it was like a documentary thing where it was kind of interviews. And I just remember hearing his voice start the trailer off was just phenomenal. And then how he ended it too. I've posted the clip before. It's like 2 or 3 minutes. It's a project that has gone unfinished for now, but I can promise you that, Robert Morales might or maybe is looking into starting that back up and finishing it up here. So a little inside information there, but Mr. Fairley, Dr. Fairley, when you think of a Rio Hondo care, I think you could say that about so many people I bring on the podcast, but Dr. Fairley, man, for everything. Everything he's gone through academically. Going to USC and then pursuing to get exactly where he wanted to be. It wasn't an easy road, but it was a road that was intended for this guy, if you know what I mean. Like he was built for the road he has been on as far as, his academic and his professional journey. And so I kind of want to touch base on that a little bit, go into that. And of course, talk Rio football, past, present, and the future, see what he has to say. We will also touch on recording this in late May. Dr. Fairley's daughter, Bella, who is a senior at Rio as of this recording, had a walk-off home run in the first round of the CIF softball playoffs. So as I record this, the girls are still playing. They're going to be in the quarterfinals. I don't know if there's still a bigger story to be told there, but so far, Bella was the 210 prep player, prep sports player of the week, girls female athlete player of the week, as a large part due to that home run. And so we'll talk about just being a proud dad of a current senior parent or a senior athlete at Rio as this is recorded. He does have two boys in the school as well. So, they'll be coming up the ranks real soon. But without wasting any more time, I know you guys are here to hear from Dr. Fairley to talk about Rio football as a player. Care Youth League, his journey, how he found Care in Rio. That's always fun. Maybe share some stories from the past with teammates and just, I don't know what it's like being on the sideline there at Rio Hondo games on Friday nights. And, you can always see Dr. Fairley. He's got his cart, his big cart. He wheels over, much like other coaches and things do, but he's always rolling up there. I usually find the referees before the game and they're always looking for who's the medical guy. I said, he'll be here. Dr. Fairley will be here. He's got his cart and we got other great medical personnel for Rio as well. But, Dr. Fairley, who was very close in age to Coach Carson, a couple years older than Coach Carson, I think that relationship has been special over the years as well. So an opportunity for Dr. Fairley to be there on the sideline watching his good friend coach up the team that we all love. So without more delays from me, let's get to our feature only guest, the featured part of the podcast this week as we roll right along in the summer through the heat, through the off season, as we finish it up and count down to kickoff, if you know what I mean. It is my absolute privilege and honor to have as my guest this week, Dr. Jeff Fairley. All right, as promised, we are now joined by Dr. Jeff Fairley from the class of 1992 at Rio Hondo Prep. Some would say a legend on the field, the court back in his playing days, but he contributes greatly to our student athletes at Rio now on the medical side of things. Jeff Fairley, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Matt. Thanks for having me. As always, you hit the intro right on cue. It was a great time to be a Rio Hondo Prep Care. It certainly has been the last 2 years.
Well, you know what? It's also been a great time to be not just an alumni of Rio, but I want to hit this right off the bat. We are recording in late May, just so everybody knows. And very recently, the Fairley family has made some news. I know your daughter, Bella, who's currently, as we record, a senior, was named the 210 Prep Sports Player of the Week. And she had a walk-off home run in the first round of the CIF playoffs for softball. So we're going to talk about a lot of other things, but right off the bat, as a father, Dr. Fairley, you got to be just beaming from what you've seen from her the past week.
It is as absolutely as good as it gets. She core memory made. She is just an amazing young lady. She's going to turn 18 tomorrow. She's just got a lot of poise and she just really cares about her team. She had an opportunity. And I so appreciate the fact that she just went after it. She just left it out there on the field, took her cuts, took her hacks. And when she hit that ball, it was, there's no doubt. And it was great. You try not to live vicariously through your kids, but it was a wonderful time. And she really enjoyed it. Obviously big game, big win, propelled them. They jumped out, got another win last Saturday. So they got a big game tomorrow, but it was great for her. And I'm happy, I'm proud of her. And, just really, it was a great moment for her. And it's really been a fun week, honestly. As a senior, Rio Hondo really, there's no program like it.
Mm.
That's all I can tell you. Sometimes you hear Coach Carson say nobody has it better than us, and I think he's right. I mean, there's different programs out there, but there's nothing better. We had the baccalaureate service just last Sunday, and just seeing each and every one of those kids individually honored, individually recognized by a faculty member of their choice was a really just a great ceremony, and really just I sometimes have patients that ask me about the kids, and I'm like, oh, hey, this one's at Mount Care, and this one's at camp, and this one's playing this game, and this one's going to Europe, and they're like, what school do you go to? So yeah, Bella's really had, I think, a great opportunity to really shine, and this last hit was great, really great.
Well, you mentioned like living vicarious. I mean, you did all this. You literally went through Rio. You had a great athletic career. I've heard that. I don't know. You've had some great moments in your athletic time way back when, Jeff. Maybe we'll talk about some, but I gotta imagine seeing a senior in a playoff game. Did I hear that correctly? That was her first home run of the season. She picked a heck of a time to hit her first, or
That was the first home run of her career.
oh,
And
okay.
although I will say this, she told me earlier in the week, she says, "Hey, Daddy, I hit a home run in practice." I was like, "Oh, well done. Who'd you hit it off of?" Coach Parker. I'm like, even better, But yeah, no, look, she does put time into it. She does work at it. You see some guys, some players out there, you kind of know, hey, they're that's a baseball, softball player. And then you
Yeah.
see other players out there, you're like, hey, that's an athlete playing softball. And I would say Bella falls more into that category. She's an athlete playing softball. She's fast. She covers ground. But yeah, she for a girl who didn't play her freshman year, wasn't sure she even wanted to really pursue it intensely. I'm glad she did, and she's really enjoyed the season's blossom for her. She got a couple hits last game, scored a run, so it's been fun watching her do it.
Yeah, it'll be fun looking back at this podcast, in a few weeks and kind of hopefully that softball team. I think they got a couple more wins in them. I'm gonna be pulling for them. We'll be watching and cheering. And hey, again, I've said this many times. I don't care if it's pole vaulting, softball, boys volleyball. If Rio Hondo's competing, hey, I'm all about it. Let's go, man.
Yeah,
Let's cheer.
it's great, and this team is special in that regard. They're just all around solid. A lot of times in softball, you get that one pitcher that's just overpowering, and fortunately for us, we haven't run into that yet. But we don't make a lot of mistakes. We make a lot of contact. We make them make plays. Girls back up. They make good throws. They hit cutoffs. They just play solid fundamental softball, and we'll see how far it takes them.
Yeah, you gotta love the energy. I love the energy that I see, and it's just like, hey, yeah, you know what? Just let it all go. It's fantastic, and this is a football podcast, which we got to
Yes,
get to.
sir.
But man, great things going on in RHP athletics all around. While we continue to talk, kind of about, or I guess we'll piggyback it or roll into kind of what the past couple years have been like. Jeff, you've been right there at the forefront. Just being on that sideline. It's been an honor for me to do this podcast and kind of be fortunate that I picked the right time to do it, if you will.
Yeah.
How would you describe what you have witnessed the past, not last season, the past couple of seasons with this magical run Rio Hondo Prep has been on?
I guess I would say it's been really great to watch um, what I would call ordinary kids doing extraordinary things. And I really think it's a testament to their hard work, to their dedication, but also to a commitment to a system. I think if you look at our guys and you try to stack them up one on man against most teams, we're going to be in trouble. We're not going to necessarily measure up, if you will, man on man. But when you put our team against their team, and you got, 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, 11 guys on special teams, committed to our system and committed to the team, you really can see some amazing things happen. And it's been a blessing to be able to be on the sidelines to see some of these guys. And like I said, one of the subtle, but I think just really awesome things for me is sometimes being in the locker room, kind of depending on the timing, I may be taping somebody or working somebody, and they'll start to go through their last minute meeting ideas, and then they break into their team prayer, and you just hear the heart of these young men. They're not in a superficial manner. Hey, dear Lord, play that we win the game. But they want the glory of what they do to be an honor to the Lord, and it's really to see the depth, the spiritual maturity of some of them, especially some of those upperclassmen. It is really something to see, and you kind of can see that, hey, there's a culmination of a program and a mission that Carey League has, going all the way from the after school sports league through the elementary school and junior high and high school. And then you can see it sort of cycle back in our Archland members and young leaders. And so it's just really been just a testament to an organization that has a mission and it's executing on that mission.
I think that's perfectly said. The execution has been, nearly flawless. And I think when you look at this crest, on this coffee mug and the logo, the school logo, when you play for that, you're playing for so much more than your school. You're like you're saying, number one for God, playing in His honor, but your family, your friends, your school. There's so much. I think that other people in the media that I talked to, they're trying to figure out Rio Hondo, and it's like, no. This crest right here, this means so much more. It's a shield. It's it's an attitude. It's a mission, as you say. And I think to your point, when you got a bunch of individuals who are working together, rowing that boat that same direction, it's tough to stop, man.
Yeah, it really is. And, because we need the Zach Burrows, and we need the Noah Peninaries, right? And Noah may get a lot of headlines, but you're going to find a commonality of humility between both those guys. And it's just really great to just see how, guys just take the gifts and skills that they have, and they put them to work. It's been a joy to watch. And I also have seen, I think a coaching staff that has really started to find, I think, a really nice balance between challenging the kids, encouraging the kids, getting after the kids, high-fiving the kids. There's a balance that you need there. And I think our coaching staff has really gotten into a really nice groove. They really complement each other well. They work well together. There's not a big ego fight there on the sidelines. They develop talent. It really just is it's a joy to watch. And I think I'm fortunate that my kids are getting an opportunity to benefit from it.
Yeah. You got a couple boys coming up the program as well, which has got to be a joy with the coming into the current state of the union, if you will, of RHP football. Without angering too many generations, or however you want to phrase this, Jeff, like putting you on the spot. You've been watching Rio football a long time. Some great teams yourself. I mean, I don't know. I hate the whole recency bias thing, but have we seen some of the greatest Rio Hondo football in our illustrious history? I know we got the banners, we got all this stuff. I don't know. 100%. I don't even know what I'm asking.
No, look at, I think what the current group of guys are doing has been unprecedented. Never, well, look at, I can assure you there's never been a team in the history that's had the enrollment differential as great as ours, because we're the smallest enrollment playing 11-man football in CIF, right? So by definition, these guys are playing the largest differential in enrollment that our school history has ever seen. And so, and in addition to the structure of the playoffs at this level, you have to go out and win 4 games So we rode it out to Riverside, back-to-back weeks, to play there, and then to come back and to win these games. So yeah, I think that in my mind, there's no doubt that the current group. I mean, I think you can argue between maybe the 2024 team, the 2023 team, the 2021 team that lost to Charter Oak. I mean, I think
Yeah.
you can maybe debate those three, but I think Mount Rushmore, I mean, those three heads are already there.
Ooh.
So you can, I don't know, some of these guys can pick out one of these old dusty banners and try to figure out if their team should be on the hill too. But I'm pretty confident that 23 and 24 are going to kind of stand out for sure. And like I said, 21 was another magical run too that came just a little bit short. Against St. Pius there
Yeah.
in that third round game.
In my mind, the Charter Oak victory is hands down the greatest non-championship game victory in school history. I don't think there's any debate about that. Now we have that moment, and then these guys go on and beat Santa Monica and beat Warren and lose the state championship by a yard, and you're just like, oh, okay. Well, that game's still important, still matters for history. So we are blessed right now, man, to be a part of something. What I love doing, Jeff, is really the goal of this has been to unite the past, the present, and the future. The pride of Rio Hondo Prep football, bringing in and seeing. Look, we're in a special era right now. You guys who played 20, 30 years ago, you guys need to see this and support it. And then hopefully that leads to more generations coming out. But real football, man.
Matt, what a great way to put that. I think 100%, right. I mean, I think of those guys that I graduated with and in '92 and the early '90s there. Yeah, if you get a chance, come on out and see a game. Come out to Ostergaard Stadium and just enjoy the evening. It's a great place to watch a high school game. The product on the field is great. Now look at every year you got to keep it going again, right? You got to renew it
Yeah.
again. And, obviously we've been able to reload, so to speak, versus having to rebuild. We have a great core of guys, but there are some amazing seniors that are going to be graduating here. And those are going to be big shoes to fill. And but that's kind of part of the beauty of it, right? There's an opportunity now for another young man to kind of step up and maybe do something that was beyond what he thought he could do, beyond what we thought he could do. And you'll see how God uses that opportunity to impact his life and those around him.
You got that right. It has been what I love too is seeing for people that come out and they're like, they can see, obviously, some of the guys are like, oh man, these guys are faster and more aggressive than I ever was. But there's other guys who are like, man, this is just how I remember. You see, right, Jeff, you see that dance of like, there's still the RHP tradition. It's still a lot of the same things, but also some newer school stuff kind of blended together. And I think that's what we've seen the past, I don't know, 10 years of real football.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything changes, evolves, and hopefully keeps getting better. So, I think the guys train better. I think hey, we had some great coaches, but I think these guys are being coached really, really well. We had some great schemes, but, I think these guys are playing, from a schematic perspective. Randy Johnson is a wizard, man. And you give that guy a week, you give that guy a halftime, and you just see what he does with that offense, and it's really I think also too, just like the way in which we play is really well suited for high school football.
Mm.
We're not going to make a lot of mistakes. If you want to run that spread offense, good luck. You're going to have to make a lot of good reads, accurate throws, big catches. But we don't miss a lot of tackles. We don't give up a lot of extra yards after the catch. You're going to have to be able to figure out our blitz packages. It's a challenge out there, and it is really fun to watch and fun to see these guys. And I think Coach chaplain, Rocky Sato has also, I think, provided another pair of eyes that brings about some wisdom and some fun and some fire and some and I think the boys have really responded to that as well.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He has been a perfect addition to Rio Hondo football. He's got a great resume, but I think he's the type of guy you never know he had that resume. He just comes in. I love the enthusiasm I see from Rocky when, say, a third string guy gets in there and makes a play, knocks the ball down, makes a tackle, and Rocky, it's like Easter morning for him. He is just fired up, running around, slapping the guy in the helmet, and you just like, I love this guy. This guy loves football. He loves the kids, loves the Lord. But I got to ask about Coach Carson. He was a couple years younger than you, Jeff, and at Rio, and just someone who has taken this program to new heights. It's been a work in progress, but man, following in the footsteps of Mike Dowd, Randall Johnson, and Ken Drain is no easy feat. And Coach Mark Carson, I think, has surpassed that by leaps and bounds.
Well, he definitely is. It's a joy and an honor to call him my friend and to watch what he has done. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention his wife Claudia and the beautiful family they have. They're celebrating, I want to say, their 20th anniversary this week. And just the two of them are just an amazing example of just what you want out of life. Just amazing family, amazing marriage, amazing group of people. Mark has really just, it's a 2025. It's a different era of football, and it's a different era with respect to social media, interactivity, connectivity. And I think Mark has really done a great job of bridging the tradition of Rio Hondo Prep into the modern culture, if you will. We have some guys that maybe do have an opportunity to play at the next level, and Mark being willing to try to work and ensure that those guys, if they have that potential and they have that willingness to work and to try to facilitate that for them, while still making sure that we have a program that's really focused on the team and not focused on the individual. I think he's really done a great job at rallying the troops, getting them to buy in. Having a teenage son, getting those guys to buy in, commit, and put in that work is it takes some convincing sometimes, or it takes some motivating sometimes, and he's really very good at challenging those guys to get the best out of them. And also they do some things a little bit different than we used to do in a very positive way. These guys love each other, they care for each other, they protect each other. They ding around with each other, but they don't demean each other. They don't there's no bottom of the totem pole guy. So it is really nice to kind of see how they have responded to the culture that Coach Carson's created.
He has created a culture of, pun intended, caring, but also love, as you mentioned. Every break, hey, get three hugs with your brothers, your teammates. Fearless, brotherhood, toughness, discipline are his foundations, and you see it, you feel it. I've stood next to guys in the media who see our guys play, and they just they have no idea. How does Mark and his staff, how do they get these guys to play this hard, to go up, just go right at guys way bigger than them? And I'm like, well, it's a tribute to them. But again, it's the tie-in, the tradition, and kind of what they've done too. So it's so fun to see Mark's energy, his scheming, all those things. He's the right guy for the job. I know that. Let me ask you this, Jeff, when you were playing back in the day, it's like, man, who's ever going to take over for Mr. Johnson? And then it's like, well, who's ever going to take over for Mr. Drain? Well, Mark came along, and it was just like, oh yeah, he's the guy. I mean, he's absolutely the perfect guy for this job.
Yeah, it really Mark's a really talented guy. had a lot of, it has choices, had a lot of options. And I remember back when he was trying to figure out what he really wanted to do. And I remember him working in the sports information desk at Cal State Fullerton, and he was, torn as to where do I fit in? What do I do? And I think I think made a decision that I think we're all grateful for, to jump into the Rio Hondo, coaching journey. I don't know that when he started that he had a head coaching job assured or lined up in any way, shape, or form. And he just stuck it out, paid his dues, and then has really just taken this program to new levels. And also too, he's not satisfied.
No.
This year we've got a game in Dallas, Texas, and who'd have thought that we'd be playing an out-of-state game? But I think Coach Carson is great at looking for a challenge, looking for something that can put a stamp on a season, that can make it a memorable experience for these boys. And obviously we're grateful for the supporters that are helping us be able to do it. But it is I think just an opportunity to go do it is really fun. So yeah, I couldn't be more pleased, and I guess just happy for my friend Mark and the success that he's had. I think he was coach of the year at least once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
And I think well deserved. Well deserved.
And he will say it's all about the people around him and all that, which is true. But hey, the man at the top has been leading the way.
And they're going to
the
yell
right
at him
way.
if we're losing. So,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, so this thing could turn right around on him in a hurry. Us media types here. Jeff, I want to talk about your contributions to the Rio program. We also talk about your days also, and kind of we'll do a little timeline version of it, if you will. We know
Sure.
we help on the sidelines, in on the medical side of things for Rio. But if you could talk to me about, I don't know, your Rio Hondo days, maybe a quick summary of how you found Care Youth League and eventually Rio Hondo Prep.
Sure. Yeah. It's great. It brings back memories of the Atlantic Pirates and
Boo!
yeah, I know the Glendora Gators. They struggle to no. Hey, look, we're glad for expansion teams, man. It's always good. Couple extra dubs every year. So no, the Mr. John Lee senior was the head of Atlantic, and he did a sign up. This is something we used to do back in the late 80s. We go out to ballparks and put a table and a banner out there and just ask kids if they want to play ball. And I happened to be at the park the same day that the Care Youth League signups were going on, and he asked me if I want to play baseball, and I said I want to play back catcher. And so back catcher was born, and I played that for my first year at Care. I think I was 7 years old. Never played ball before, but Mr. Lee saw something in me, thought I could do it, and gave me all that catcher's gear and let me play it. And it was a beginning of a great run. I was living in Doherty, had an opportunity to go to school up in at Valley View School, and it was sort of a temporary situation. Mr. Lee approached my mom and just said, "Hey, we have a school here. I think your son would do great here." And the next year, I was enrolled at Rio Hondo, and it was probably the single greatest gift that could be given. And Rio Hondo is not free, and there were times where my mom had trouble paying, and I know Mr. Lee stood up and just said, "Hey, they'll figure it out." And eventually we did, and I'm just really grateful for him and my opportunity to go to Rio Hondo, and it was life altering for me. I think I told my kids, I think I've been to 47 states. I've had the opportunity to play 4 sports, play musicals, learn an instrument, play a piano, study Latin. These are all things that most people don't get to do, and it's been a great blessing.
Oh yeah, and the Rio Hondo experience, some ways has changed, but a lot of the things you're saying now are things your kids are doing, and just the generations all throughout who go to Rio. It's like explaining it to people is interesting. You get to do it now as a father, but if you could, Jeff, you talked to me. You wanted to be a catcher, back catcher, baseball, but like I don't know for Care and Rio. You seem like a guy who loves sports and everything. Did you just soak up everything, the trips, the camps, and everything it had included?
Yeah, my situation. I was raised by my mom. She passed away a couple years ago. Jean Fairley. She did the very best she could with what she had, and what she found was an organization that could kind of take me to places that she would not be necessarily able to do. And I'm really grateful that she was able to see that, find that, and be willing to embrace that as an opportunity for me. So whether it was outings to Disneyland or sleepovers or going to the beach, summer trips, the Rio Hondo Prep, going to school, the science camps, winter camps, honor roll skiing and Mammoth. I mean, I can go down the list of just things that were just would never. I mean, we did a summer trip to Alaska. I mean, just things that would have never been in the world or realm of possibility. But because I was at Rio Hondo and had the opportunity to do it, I tell people about traveling across the country with a flatbed convertible stage trailer that we would put up at KOAs and acting in plays, and they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? So it's been a great run, but sure, sports is where it all started, and we hung up quite a few banners as Atlantic Pirates, and that kind of continued on all the way into high school, and we had a nice run in high school, and it was with some great guys, and I was blessed to be part of it.
Well, you had some amazing teammates, Todd Carson, Rick Johnson, John Lee, Mike Whiteside was on the show last year. John Carrillo, Bill Lee, just an amazing group.
Sure.
The football team, from what I understand, tonight you guys just ran over everybody. You killed them all, really. In '91, the basketball, the team that still really holds is the standard for real basketball. If you could, in that, I mean, I know that wasn't your senior year, Jeff, but just at that time, playing sports at Rio Hondo, it seemed like similar to what we're seeing now with football, where it's like, hey, this is something special. At the time there in 90, 91, I mean, did everyone understand, hey, this is a really special era that we're going through right now?
I would honestly say no. I think it was sort of a business as usual for us, to be quite honest with you. The year before in '89, we had a very successful year. We ended up losing in a semifinal playoff game against Pauley on a 49-yard field goal on a 80-yard field. So you can kind of do that on where that ball was placed. Lance Gravely. He's actually a neurosurgeon now, so he can only get so upset. But anyway, yeah, we had a great year that year. We'd gone to the playoffs in basketball the year before. Got beat by Rebay in a semifinal basketball game. We had a great baseball year that year. So rolling into the next year, the 1990 season. I don't know that we internalized that, hey, we had a good run last year. It was sort of like we fell short last year. So, come football season, it was definitely a great year. It was a little bittersweet. I think we had 3 teams cancel on us, which, so we only played 10 games and 3 of them were playoff games. So we really only had 7 regular season games. And I think really the homecoming game, I'm not sure that one even counted because they wouldn't send the varsity team, so we played a JV team for the homecoming game. Rebay Academy, who beat us in basketball. They I think they were the first or second game of the season. They canceled the football game, which was Rebay like. Anyway, it was a great run. we similar to what you see now. We have guys that are fully committed and working really hard. And we ran our scheme, and just other teams really couldn't do it. But yeah, we finished that football game against Faith Baptist. It was a Friday afternoon, it might have been Saturday afternoon, and we had basketball practice on Monday. We had our first game on Tuesday, and then that basketball season we ended up going. I want to say it was maybe 28-2, 29-2, something along those lines. So we I think we dropped one game in the prep league to Chadwick, and then I guess we ended up 29-3. We lost to Rebate twice. Once in the finals and then again in the state finals. But that was a great run, and being able to be in the state playoffs was awesome. So we're traveling to San Diego, and similar to this year, the girls were successful as well. So we were both in the state playoffs for basketball. So
That's neat.
they I don't know how they worked it out, but both of us had a game down in San Diego for the first game, and then I think we came back, did about 5 minutes of school the next day, and then got on the bus to drive up to Visalia, and came back, did about another 5 more minutes of school. And that year too, we had a great opportunity to sing at the Christmas time in the White House. And so we were doing fundraising for that. So, I mean, we're constantly like, just, hey, we got to go sing at this corporate event. We got to go sing at that corporate event. So that year, I mean, I don't know how Mrs. Dowd handled this academically, because I don't think we were ever in class. So,
Hey, that's the Rio Hondo way, man. You're busy doing something all the time, it seems like, in all these different areas, singing, playing ball. I mean, it's just the best. That's what, like, the past few years, we've had all these road trips, and I'm like, hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. We love home games, but man, we are road warriors. It's in our blood. If you could, Jeff, talk about just, I mean, you don't have to say names specifically, but I guess as teammates for you, and I'm always kind of talking to the current players about, the lifelong friendships. Other school, others, sport. Yeah, you got, oh, I played ball with this guy back in the day. But if you could just sum up the relationships, how tight knit they really are, that start at RHP and last a lifetime.
I guess probably I'm trying to quickly do the math. I want to say that I think I was probably in 6 different weddings of my closest friends from high school. And I think if you looked at the web of that, how many of each of us were in the same wedding for different friends, and just kind of shows the core of that friendship. And I think people make friends at different stages of life, obviously, right? So, and some people have a great high school experience, have a lot of great friends. Others, not so much, right? They turn that page. They make great friends in college, or make great friends at work, clubs, associations, things like that. We were really fortunate that we just had a group of guys that really do care for each other, and it's almost like things kind of can pick up where they dropped off, 18 months ago. So my friend John Lee in Oregon, we'll all of a sudden be messaging each other, and it's like we pick up mid conversation from 4 months ago, and it just kind of keeps going. But yeah, I think there's something about the process at Rio Hondo. Yes, there's the sports and the athleticism side of it, but part of that mission is, a commitment to Christ and to the Christian faith. And in doing that, you recognize that he is your brother means a whole another thing, beyond just the guy you play ball with or you like to hang out with, right? You have someone who you have an eternal connection with, because you both have a deep set belief about what our purpose is here and what we're supposed to be doing. And so I think as a result of that, you get friendships and bonds that have different levels of dimension that are really, really powerful and persistent. And so, and like, I guess I would even say I have guys that we've played with that maybe we haven't been as close over the years. When we do see each other, when we do get back together again, it's sort of like that brotherhood bond is never really broken. And so that's another, it's a unique thing. Not everybody has this. Not everyone has that opportunity to really connect with a bunch of other people. And, probably in the modern, certainly what I see here at the college where I teach, the capacity for connection, the ability to connect is a big challenge for a lot of students, and they don't have that, and they do feel like they're the island unto themselves. And we see a lot of the psychological challenges that go along with that. And so I think just having this bedrock of guys that truly are your brother is an amazing thing. And I would even say too, respectfully, brothers and sisters, right? I have a daughter who's graduating in the senior class. They do so many fun things together as a group, as a class. And so you start to see that, hey, there's actually even this bond of friendship across the class. And that's just a really unique situation. You don't often see high school kids have the opportunity to really have.
Yeah, I could not agree more. When I remember my senior year, 2 years ago now, you're just like you're around everybody. You form these bonds, the girls and the guys just together doing stuff together, just hanging out. I remember the last few months of our senior year being like, it's not going to be like this ever again. Like as this, we're our own little family, if you will. And you see people at reunions and things, and that's fantastic. But yeah, the Rio Hondo experience. Again, I would put it up against anything out there, and I really try to promote that as much as I can. Jeff, I do want to talk about what you do for the team, and also professionally. It's kind of you help out Rio on game days and some other things. But if you would talk to me about well, let's talk about your professional life first. What exactly it is you do? I see you at Western University. You mentioned teaching, but I think there's a couple different things you do. So talk to me about that first.
Sure. Yeah. Matt, thanks. Well, to tie that back to Rio Hondo, one of the big things that I remember Pastor Horton really challenged us on is, what's your calling? What does God have you to do? What is your purpose in life? How are you going to use your gifts and talents? I've been fortunate and blessed to be able to be a physical therapist. And so I wear a couple of hats now. I teach here at Western University. I'm associate chair of the physical therapy program. And today actually was a teaching day for me. And so that's why I'm still here in my office here in Pomona. We're a small PT program. Enroll about 60 kids per year. It's a 3-year doctoral program. I get to teach a couple different courses in it, healthcare administration, as well as work with our musculoskeletal curriculum. So I teach kinesiology, biomechanics, and orthopedic patient management in those courses. And so it's been a really great, it's been 10 years now that I've had an opportunity to work here at Western. Knock on wood, I serve with the pleasure of the president and the provost and the dean and the chair. So hopefully I keep all those bosses happy. But I also have a private practice. So it's called the Body Center of Physical Therapy. It's in Claremont. I'm great, have a great team of people that work with me there, where we're able to provide rehabilitative services using physical therapy to the community, which also gives me a venue to be able to help with the Rio Hondo athletes. So, it's definitely a priority opportunity for folks that are Rio Hondo kids to be able to get care that they need. As long as they can make the drive to Claremont, I can get them taken care of. But yeah, I've been blessed to be able, and I hope to be able to continue, God willing, to be on the sidelines and help support the programs. As you know, in California, there is a requirement for an emergency medical responder of some type at most tackle football games from our junior high to our JV and our varsity. So fortunately, last year I had kids at each level. So I think it was 35 games we covered last year. So that was great. So and hopefully we'll be able to do that. And we're actually trying to build a little bit of a partnership with the Western University and to get some of our PT students out there, kind of an opportunity for them to experience therapy as a sideline provider. Yeah, I guess that's in a nutshell what's going on in my professional world.
Live reps for sure. And before I ask you some follow-ups regarding Rio Hondo, I just gotta ask some people, Jeff. I mean, people become police officers or people become nurses or whatever they end up doing. How in the world did you know when you kind of got it out of high school that you wanted to do this specifically, or did you know you wanted to do something where it was helping people? Talk to me about that process and how you landed on physical therapy.
Well, man, I'm glad you asked. It's a fun story, and I don't think that I had a lot to do with it. It's the way I would put it. I think certain things I think are just divinely appointments, and they come your way. I was always kind of the school ground doctor. I had a grandma who demanded me bring an A grade every day and told me I was going to be a doctor every day of my life. And I think had a couple incidents that I think really I think God used to kind of inspire me. I had a problem called Osgood Schlatter when I was a kid, which is sort of a developmental overuse irritation that a lot of athletes deal with. We were in a situation where I didn't really have a lot of medical options. And so there's one season of football, my 8th grade year, I didn't play because the doc told me, well, you just got to rest. And I think about 5 weeks into resting, when my knee felt exactly the way it felt 5 weeks prior, I kind of just told my coach I'm playing now. And he said, okay, then go play. But it kind of was my mission that, well, kids shouldn't have to play in pain. And I need to figure out why they're in pain and figure out what I got to do to get them out of pain. And so that was really one of the catalysts for it. Rio Hondo alum, Mike McGarren, became a physical therapist. He went to USC to do his training. I knew of Mike because he was a Rio alum. And so on a college board form, I put USC down because I knew they had a PT program. Turns out I win a scholarship because of PSAT scores.
Wow.
Because I put USC down, the scholarship money went to USC. USC calls me about 2 weeks before the semester starts. Excuse me, and says, "Hey, we got the scholarship check, but we don't have you. We don't have your application. We don't have anything else." And I said, "Yeah, because I can't afford to go there." And they said, "Well, let's see what we can do." And next thing you know, I'm not a 49er anymore, and I'm a USC Trojan, and my life changed again. And then I was really fortunate. I was at USC, and I was at the main campus as an undergrad. I'm an exercise physiology major, and one of the faculty members at the physical therapy school, which was up on the health science campus, so it's a different campus, needed a work study student to do a very specific type of research in her lab. So she called on the undergraduate campus, "Hey, do you have any work study students?" One of the faculty members goes, "Absolutely. I've got this student. He's great. He knows how to do it already. He's worked in my lab. He'd be perfect for you." She comes, she hunts me down, says, "Jeff, I got to show you how to do this stuff because you work in my lab now, but you're going to go work in that lab." And so it turns out I got a job my last 2 years as an undergrad, working in the PT school for one of the faculty members. So that opened the door to me to getting into physical therapy school there at USC. And the rest is what it is.
Wow, that is an incredible story. It sounds very very Rio Hondo in a sense of like, hey, can you do this? Or yeah, sure, I can do that. Or I've been doing that. Or like, hey, fill out this form, and you never see, you never know what will land. Man, it's a true testament of persistence and just faith, really. Looking back, I'm sure it's been a few years now, and um, you probably think the road was probably pretty crazy to where you landed, Jeff, but you got to feel exactly where you were supposed to be the whole time.
Yeah, Lord works in mysterious ways, and like I said, I think um, now having kids that are getting into that zone of, hey, I just finished high school, now what is it I'm going to do? I just I pray for my kids, hey, that one, that they will solidify what they believe and why they believe it, and then two, that they'll follow that passion, and as we do that, hopefully we end up glorifying God in that process of kind of following what it is that He has us to do. And I've made my fair many mistakes along the way, right? I'm very far from perfect, and I have a sobering response every time I look in the mirror. But that being said, I see what God's hand is all around, and I'm really grateful for just what he does, and what he does through us and with us, and the opportunity we have to deal with the kids, the opportunity I have to work with the future physical therapists. I had a mentor that said, hey Jeff, at some point you can't treat another patient, you run out of time. And
Mm.
so the opportunity to help train 50 PTs a year, I've been able to do that for 10 years. So for better or for worse, there's 500 PTs out there that had an impact on their training, on their understanding, and hopefully positively on their outlook and what they're doing.
I have no doubt your influence has been beneficial to them. Now, talk the body center in Claremont. A little commercial, if you will. Go right ahead. Is that just something? I don't know much about this stuff. Is that something you can walk in, get an appointment? Is it referral? How does the body center operate?
Sure. Well, I mean, first and foremost, if you're having a pain problem, we can help you.
Mm.
Head to toe. If it's an orthopedic problem, we can help you. We can help you feel better. We help you move better, help you be better. And we kind of believe that, when people move better, that's how they flourish. That's how people get to express themselves, whether it's golf or dance or through their work, through their sport. So you don't have to keep living in pain. You don't have to keep living in the unknown about what's going on and what you can do about it. And so we can help everybody. We can't fix everybody. We can help everybody. And so we're located in Claremont. We take most insurances, all PPOs, Medicare. You can call our office. Be happy to make an appointment. I'm sure if you walk in, it's a little bit more difficult because we do work on appointment basis. But if you walk in, I'll still say hi to you. But yeah, we would love to see you. We're open. We're open 6 days a week until football season. Then we shut down Saturdays. Um,
Well, I gotta say, physical therapy that does not seem like a business, a profession, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't seem like there's many slow days. It seems like there's always something going on. I can't, I gotta imagine there's some long days, full days. But I don't know. It seems like you really enjoy it, seeing people get better.
it's a great testament to that, and yeah. I mean, everyone's got to put their work in, right? And we do too. But it is a great opportunity to help people, sometimes very immediately.
Mhm.
Other times it does take a little bit more time. But yeah, it's a great blessing to be able to help people, and really get to know them, to get to know people, know what it is that makes them tick, know what it is that brings them joy, know what it is that they're looking to be able to do, and then to work with them to be able to help them do it. And there's it's almost like the buzz you get from coaching. When you see your athlete perform at their best. It's a similar sort of, I think, intrinsic happiness that comes from seeing people be able to do better and do well, I'm grateful for the opportunity, and hopefully we'll be able to, again, Lord willing, be able to keep doing this for a while.
If you could, for the Rio Hondo families listening, the parents of the student athletes currently in the school and everything, if you could talk to me about how you kind of work hand in hand with the other members of, I just know what else to call them besides the Rio Medical Team. I talked to Dr. Walsh earlier in the summer on a podcast. Maybe we'll get some of the other guys, but if you could just kind of hand in hand how you operate things, and I got to tell you, Jeff, that first step of yours on, hopefully we never see you on the field, right, all season, but that first step out there, man, I don't know, it's a pretty good first step. I'll give you that.
The older I get, the better I was. When I was a ball player at Rio, Dr. Walsh was on the sidelines taking care of me. And I've been grateful to be able to be on the sidelines and take care of some of these guys now. And, Dr. Walsh has just been just a great blessing to be on the sidelines. He's been there for so long, so much wisdom and knowledge. And, I think we have a really great working relationship with Rio Hondo administration and our coaching team. Obviously, we're in a volunteer capacity, but we are given the authority to handle the safety-based concerns for the athletes on the field. And I think our coaches have as much as they want to win and guys to be able to be available, what have you not, they very much do respect the medical team's opinion. And if we do think that there's a safety issue, we're not hesitant to step in and ensure that young man is safe. And I think in some ways indirectly that's part of that brotherhood. That we're not putting kids in danger. We're not putting kids in a situation where they're in an unnecessary level of risk, and we're able to help ensure that they're safe. And I think that's a big part of it. And I think if I'm talking to the Rio parents, we take that very seriously. We do ongoing training, continuing education. We stay up with the various regulations, and that's across the coaching staff and the medical team. So Randy's offensive coordinator, but he oftentimes is managing athletes, during the week on campus, and so we're very mindful of these elements. I took a course just this past year on best practices on sideline management. So to those parents, football is a collision sport, but we are doing everything in our best interest, in our everything within our control to try to make sure that this is the safest experience for your athlete. I think going beyond that, the sports medicine team, I think really just wants to help ensure that this opportunity for kids continues. So from the junior high level all the way through the high school, that's why we're out there. We know that this has such a positive influence on young men's lives, and the little bit that we're doing to just ensure that they have that opportunity is awesome.
Yeah, and I can promise everyone that there's never corners that are ever going to be cut, and with Rio, especially in this side of things. And I mean, Jeff, you guys all played Rio football, all of you, and so you understand the competitive nature. You understand the level of the types of kids Rio has. They want to play through pain, and I think there's a fine line. But you guys are, hey, you can play through this. This will be uncomfortable, but you won't. You probably, And then there's also you got to protect guys from themselves. So how hard is it to look a 17-year-old young man in the eyes who's pouring his heart out and telling him, I know you want to go, but you should not?
Yeah, it's hard. And it's also easy, right? Because when you understand that young man has this great potential in front of him, and that this is part of the journey, not the destination. And so, we had a senior last year who unfortunately had a concussion, was unable to play in the state championship game. That wasn't easy. That was a hard thing for everyone to have to swallow. But at the same time, there's a young man who's got a ton of potential, and the system that has been set up, and I didn't set it up, but the rationale behind it is that we know that recurrent or concurrent blows to the head, repeated concussions, seems to be far more damaging than a singular concussion at one time. And so, on some level, being able to have a single event that has a start and an end, and we're back to baseline, is a much safer situation than to have kind of an event that's stacked on top of another event. And so, as a result, there's a mandated period of time that the athletes have to wait before they can get back in the game or get back to playing. So understanding that, it was difficult, but we also see this young man graduating and know that, we believe that we worked in his best interest to ensure that he has the longest and greatest success in life and beyond just a football game.
Yeah, and on the flip side, that's a sad ending sometimes, just the way the ball bounces. Then there are other times when maybe early in the season, guy gets injured. I remember a couple years ago, I think Alex Mustaine broke a bone in his finger. Nathaniel Shine, 2023, broken collarbone. 7 weeks later, he's making the biggest plays of the season. Is there a higher level of joy when you see guys bounce back from injuries, which is just natural in a football season, to come back and just kind of re-deliver on kind of what they did before?
Yeah, it is really fun to be able to watch and also just, those guys put so much time, energy, and effort into it. And sometimes it's just a little sweeter when you have to wait a little bit, when it's denied a little bit, when you have to figure your way through it. Colodro last year, he's out for a couple weeks, and every week we talked a little bit about how do you handle this, right? How do you support your team? How do you handle it psychologically? How do you keep yourself prepared and ready to go? And he really did a great job, and then came back and was just it's like Gandalf, thou shalt not pass. You're not running around this end, so he was great that way. It is an opportunity sometimes to connect to some of those athletes on a different level. And, we're grateful that we have that opportunity. And, football is a collision sport. But, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes things don't go quite as well as you'd hope. I have an athlete right now I've been working with, and we were hoping to help her get better. And it seems like things are actually kind of going the wrong direction initially. So, we do, it's humbling sometimes to know that, you can't control everything. You got to do the best you can to help these guys get better and just make sure, you make sure we have our priorities correct.
Well, I can assure the RHP faithful out there that the priorities will always be correct with the coaching staff, the medical staff, and pretty much everything in between there at Rio Hondo. In closing, Jeff, I want to give you an opportunity just to give your give your 2 cents, give your 50 cents, however many cents, just kind of what you feel Rio Hondo, I'm going to say football is special, but you can tie it into whatever you want. I kind of like wrapping it up this way. What makes Rio Hondo so special? Maybe not just to you, but just in general and to the people who get to experience it. The floor is yours.
Well, I think I might've said it earlier and I have some great friends. I have longtime RHP folks, and I think the highest of them. But at the end of the day, I think we would really say that we're really ordinary folk, and I think Rio Hondo Prep is really this kind of a place where exponential things happen and extraordinary things get to happen, and I think that's what God does. He makes extraordinary things happen in our lives. And I think we see that at Rio Hondo Prep. And, I'm looking forward to this great year. Whether it's your Europe trip, the junior high trip, the girls' camp and San Clemente, there's just a lot of great things that are going on here where ordinary kids get an opportunity to just do extraordinary things. And it's just it's a pleasure to be a part of it. It's a joy to watch it. And, SC says fight on. I almost want to adopt that for us, because Rio Hondo, we just need to just power on and keep keep setting new records, keep the debate alive. Let's see if the 25 team is gonna get on Mount Rushmore as well.
This is the first time I've said this in the summer. We have never had a three-peat in the 11-man era. So let's just throw that out and see what happens. But Jeff Fairley, it's been an absolute pleasure. I usually get to chat with you on the sideline throughout the season here and there, but it's been a blast. I could talk with you another hour, man, but I know you're a busy guy. And hey, it's football season, Jeff. Summer's here. It's right around the corner.
I said to my son Joshua, "Can you smell it? Can you smell it? Because I can smell it. I smell it. I can already smell it. I know what that is." Yeah, it's time to go put in some work, and then we're gonna come in here and reap some rewards.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, let's hope you're not too busy with any RHP student athletes this year. But remember, the Body Center, Claremont, check that out. Thanks, Jeff, for all you do, not just for Rio, but for Western University and all the patients that you work with. Jeff Fairley from the class of 1992. It has been an absolute pleasure, my friend.
Thank you, Matt. Look forward to it. Have a great year, Matt. We'll see you on sidelines.
Jeff Fairley, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And again, for all you do for our student athletes and your other patients here in, Southern California. So I often say this, guys, every time I talk with somebody, I'm like, all right, enough waiting. It's football season. It's time, even though we're a couple months away. I tell you, when summer comes around, it's like it's football season. Even though there's a long wait until the games and the practices, it's kind of like, I put it this way, like I'm really into Christmas. Like I've always loved Christmas, and as an adult, I probably like it more than most grown men should. But I don't know. I try to get in the spirit of it really early. I'm like a November 1st decorate for Christmas type of guy. And I feel that way with football, like high school football, especially. Like, all right, when graduation ends in May, it's high school football season, especially for the podcast. So I don't know that I'll be able to do episodes weekly all summer long in the years forever. But for now, that's the plan. And some more great episodes coming to you Friday nights in the summer, guys, to get you ready. Kind of that end of the work week, summertime, summer chilling. I know parents will have their kids on the summer trips. You guys will be taking some vacations as well. And why not take the Charge to Keep podcast with you? We're with you, like I said, every Friday night from the start of June up until we kick things off on a real Friday night on August 22nd against Sure High School in week 0. I have plenty of great episodes already lined up, some of them already recorded, which I feel great about having that load off, being able to stockpile some and have them ready to go for you guys. It makes things a little easier for me throughout the summer. And once I get the June stuff out of the way, I could kind of start thinking about late July. And then before you know it, August is here. And that kind of means, well, we're talking about the current team, if you will, and not so much about the history of Rio football. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast, listening to Jeff Fairley talk about some of his playing days, his teammates, coaches, just the Rio experience, and also being a father of some student athletes at Rio, kind of what that has been like. So again, just as I brainstorm and come up with ideas for who should be on the podcast, who should have these hour-long conversations with me in the summer, and formulate them and outline them and all those things. I'm very pleased with how they come out. They go usually better than I even anticipated. So I'm looking forward to you guys hearing this, as well as everything else I got in store for me. And as I'm sure many of you know by now, there's some things I keep close to the vest, somewhat secretive, if you will, so that when the episodes do come out, that they have the impact that I think the most meaningful impact possible. And that is, again, what I'm trying to do here on the podcast. And hopefully the boys listening are getting a little riled up and none of this stuff is too boring for them. I was a high school boy one time as well. So I don't know if I'd be listening to these long conversations, but that's why I have them once a week in the summer, so that you can even break them up if you need to at the gym, on a car ride, whatever the case is. Not so much listening to me, but listening to the many great guests I have. Thank you again, Jeff Fairley. Thank you to you, the listener, for tuning in today, this evening, whenever you're listening to the Charge to Keep podcast. Please, as I encourage you all summer long, tell a friend about this, tell a family member, give it a click, give a click the link, the subscription, hey, I'm following the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, all free, of course, but just a way to keep our numbers growing. And yeah, you might hear a thing or two you like, screenshot, share the episode, whatever, whatever, however way you can help contribute to the podcast, please don't hesitate to do so. And I appreciate all you guys forwarding and sharing some of the social media clips and things I put out there as well. The countdown continues. We're a few months away from another season of Rio Hondo Prep football. But until we officially kick it off, plenty of off-season content here in the summer. I'll see you next week, guys. And in closing, as always, your friendly reminder, Rio Hondo Prep football, humble in victory and gracious in defeat, because we always have a charge to keep.
A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save, and fit it for the sky. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live. And, O thy servant, Lord, prepare a strict account to give.